I'm James Shillinglaw with Insider Travel Report, but in this case, I'm with Virtual Roadshows selling destination weddings and honeymoons. It's a virtual show, and we're here to discuss honeymoons and weddings. Not a bad topic. So we're going to talk. Many people think, oh, we're going to talk about all inclusives. We're going to talk about places where they can honeymooners and destination weddings can be hosted. But there are actually a lot of places, a lot of companies that can help you uh, actually plan a destination wedding or honeymoon. And we have two people here who represent some of those companies. We have Kiran Nambiar, who is the Senior Vice President Sales for Anzcro. And say hello, Kiran. How are you?
And good night, James. Thank you for having us on.
And we have Mina Agnos, who's the president of Travelive, who it was, and I should have said, Anzcro, you are New Zealand, right?
Yes, we do vacations into New Zealand and Australia. I am in New Zealand at the moment.
And then Mina, you are really Greece, and if I recall, Croatia a bit, right?
Right. We actually cover a lot of the region around the Mediterranean. So in addition to Greece, we're also in Croatia, we're in Italy, which are some of the really big honeymoon destinations. But we also have moved into France, Spain, Portugal, even places like Egypt, Morocco, and Turkey.
Oh wow, where have I been last day? I didn't realize you were in all those places. But let me
We've
give
been
you
busy.
both a chance, and let's start with you, Kieran. Talk a little bit about Anscro, the company, and what it offers, and you can repeat the destinations that you specialize in.
Thanks, James. Anzcro's a DMC based in Australia and New Zealand. We've been in business for 30 years. We currently have about 80 staff across these offices. So it's a reasonably large operation for a DMC in our region. Our core competencies are product depth. We have something like 40,000 travel products directly contracted from 5,000 suppliers across Australia and New Zealand. We can help advisors with any style of travel, whether it's private journeys or rental cars or trains. We can help them with any category of accommodation from four-star, five-star luxury lodges, villas, farm stays, stuff like that.
Right.
So we're good with customized itineraries. All we need is a brief from the advisor about what the clients are looking for. And based on the brief, we tailor make an itinerary from scratch to reflect the preferences and needs of the clients that are traveling.
Fantastic. And same question to you, Mina. Talk a little bit about Travel Live and what you offer.
All right, so we're a collection of DMCs. We currently operate within 10 destinations, with Greece being our first destination. That's also one of our biggest markets for honeymoons and for destination
Right.
weddings, particularly in Santorini. Next up, we have Italy, which is also one of the really popular honeymoon hotspots, as well as destination weddings along the Amalfi Coast, even in parts of Rome and other cities. We cover Switzerland, Croatia, great place to honeymoon as well as to get married. Also come from the surrounding areas, including kind of Montenegro, Slovenia, Bosnia Herzegovina. We fully operate in France now, as well as Spain, Portugal, Morocco, Turkey, and Egypt.
Wow. So that's you're all over the place in the Med. Here you got a choice between choosing destination weddings and honeymoons in New Zealand area or all over the Med. So that's great. But you do offer that, and I'm going to go back to you,
All
Karen.
over the Med.
Talk a little bit about what you offer travel advisors who are trying to plan a destination wedding or honeymoon for their clients. What resources do you offer, Kieran?
So the destinations we cover, apart from Australia and New Zealand, is also Fiji, Tahiti, and Cook Islands, which are the South Pacific islands. Most of the requests that we get are more so for honeymoons than destination weddings. From North America, it's a very long way away to come with a large group of people for a wedding. So what we get is requests for honeymoons, of course, also for elopements or for pictures. So it's like stunning location. It's like doing a recreating a photo shoot in like the Hobbiton set or on a mountain in alpine environment or like in vineyards, things like that. That's the kind of request that we get. For vacations, including honeymoons, we've got a specific brochure that we launched a few weeks back. Actually, on Valentine's Day in North America, we launched our new honeymoon brochure. And that features 13 different destinations with 3 nights each. Because the planning process for a honeymoon, as we know, is very different from the planning process to visit a country to actually visit it. When your primary reason for travel is honeymoon, then the kind of itinerary that the clients are looking for is very different. So in this brochure, we feature 13 towns or 13 cities across Australia, New Zealand, South Pacific, and the clients can choose, they can string them along based on what they're looking for. So it could be 3 nights on a beach in Fiji, followed by 3 nights in like a vineyard in New Zealand, followed by 3 nights in a big city like Sydney. Or it could be 3 nights on a beach, 3 nights in Queenstown, the adventure capital of the world, followed by 3 nights in Melbourne or Adelaide if they're into wine. That's like a really cool concept that's catching on quite well in North America at the moment.
That sounds like a great idea. I mean, boy, I mean, you mentioned also you get married in Hobbiton and where the hobbits are, or and of course, who can argue with Fiji and all those kind of destinations? Mina, talk a little bit about the kind of resources you offer, and those you mentioned Santorini is very popular, but can you talk about the resources you offer for honeymooners or destination weddings?
Yeah, so for all of our honeymooners, we offer full service accommodations, including hotel transfers, tours, really anything that happens within destination. The only thing we don't do is transatlantic air. And then we can personalize those itineraries across all of our destinations to really meet up with any preferences, any kinds of interests, or something that can make it really special for the couple that's traveling. When it comes to destination weddings, things become a little bit more intense. So we have a lot of people who come over and do things like vow renewals, which might be just a couple or just a small group of friends. And then we can also accommodate the larger groups of people who come with, large groups of families and friends that are congregating in one place. And in that case, we can also assist with things like the travel management for all of those people who are coming, ensuring that all of their activities are well matched and that their transfers are all operating so that the couple and their family don't need to worry about any of those details. We also connect with local wedding planners to assist with all the details of the actual wedding event, the reception, and all of those local services that are needed to really make it a very special day.
So it's not just doing recreations of Mamma Mia, right?
We do that too, but not
Okay.
just that.
Yeah, so I want to go and pretend that I'm on the mom set of Mamma Mia, and you can do that. But yeah, sounds like you can do anywhere. You mentioned Italy, all these different places. What kind of? I'll go back to you, Karen. What kind of trends are you seeing? You said there's a trend now to do kind of different places. What trends are you seeing in honeymoons, and what trends in destination wedding bookings? Are there any changes from the way the business looked like in the past?
We've noticed that elopements have increased a lot more as compared to
Now
destination
that's an
weddings from
interesting
North
trend.
America coming.
That's an interesting trend.
Yeah, I think couples are now opting to travel with a smaller inner circle group of friends and family rather than large movements. It also makes sense for places like Australia and New Zealand when you're considering that, or Fiji, Tahiti, all the travel that's involved from North America getting to these places. So we see that. We're also seeing um, a, a lot of budget being allocated for activities. So they're big on like diving or snorkeling, or in New Zealand, it's about like driving through the South Island, uh, taking on activities like going on black water rafting, apart from white water rafting, or it's helicopter excursions into like remote locations for picnics. So while accommodation's always been a big part of the package or big product within the package, we're also seeing clients spending a lot more on day activities to make their time more memorable.
Yeah, well, I've been jet boating in Queenstown, so I can understand the activities are really important, and it's a beautiful place. So are they combining kind of the two? So the destination wedding, you might have a smaller group with you, and then they go off somewhere else, right?
Yes. So with elopements, that's what they do. There is a co-vacation that's planned, and sometimes the friends join them for part of it, but they're all together for a couple of evenings for the main celebrations of the wedding. And yeah, it's great that you mentioned the jet boat. So that's one of the products that's quite popular. You could go on a four-wheel drive trip out of Queenstown, do like river crossings, things like that around Queenstown with the four-wheel drive. Then you hop into a helicopter that takes you to a remote location. You get on a jet boat, you do a short walk, do a picnic. Heli drops you on a vineyard. You do the afternoon in the vineyard, and then you get back into town using a different mode of transport. So it's like combining different modes of transport for a small group, which could just be a couple of two, or a
Right.
smaller group of about 8 or 10.
And you mentioned the wineries that you have those in spades in New Zealand. I've been to a few of them, and that's certainly a great place either to get married or to have your mini reception if you want.
Yes, vineyards around Queenstown in Central Otago is the southernmost vineyards in the world. They are on the same latitude as Bordeaux in France. So we make really good Pinot Noirs here. So if you're a Pinot Noir fan, then definitely think about Central Otago and Queenstown.
Fantastic. Now, Mina, the same question. Are you seeing any trends? Have things changed a lot in people booking honeymoons and destination weddings?
I would say definitely changing, especially when it comes to honeymoon travel, because there we see people looking for more kind of off the radar travel. They're looking for destinations that maybe their friends haven't visited, and they're looking for more of the bragging rights. So we're finding that authenticity and just that local immersion really has become key for honeymooners who are traveling across all of our destinations. When it comes to weddings, it's a little bit different because usually you need a central location for people to congregate, especially if you have a bigger group. So there we find that places that have better airlift, larger accommodations that can, allocate accommodations to a larger group, tend to be more popular when it comes to a larger wedding group. But definitely when it is kind of the smaller vow renewals or groups of friends traveling together, the trend is 100% to look for something more authentic, more off the radar, and where they can have the bragging rights of being the first in their friend groups to visit some of these places.
No, that's great. And roughly, what size groups for the destination weddings are you see? Kiran said there are a lot of elopements, so it's just a couple of people. Maybe they pick up some people on the way. But what are you seeing from your perspective in terms of the
So
size of the group?
we see anywhere from kind of the smaller groups being 6 to 20, and then the larger ones can be 150 plus. So
Wow.
it varies pretty significantly.
Yeah, well, I know if I know I've actually tagged along for a Greek American wedding when I was in Milos once. I wasn't part of the wedding, but we just followed the perception, and that was a big wedding.
That we see that a lot actually in Greece and in a lot of these areas where you're having kind of a tourist center where weddings are taking place, that you might have 20 people in the core group that might have been invited to the wedding, but there could be 150 at the reception that just kind of showed up. So
Yeah, well,
it's really not
that was
uncommon,
going to be
especially in
me. I
Greece.
was in the back of the church, and then I was off of a cruise ship, and then I went off and I got lost in Milos, so that was another story.
Not
Um,
a bad place to be
not
lost.
not a bad place, but so you're seeing those there can be up to large groups. That's great. Now,
Absolutely.
Kieran, let's talk about what are there any things that travel advisors should consider when trying to book a honeymoon or destination wedding? What should they really consider for their clients, and what are the questions they should be asking?
Lead times are probably the most important thing. They plan the earlier they start the process of planning the honeymoon trip or the destination wedding, the better. Options in terms of high-end accommodations pretty limited in Australia and New Zealand. So the later you start the process, you run out of the really good options. Everything gets taken up earlier. So I would say 6 to 9 months at least
Oh, wow.
before you actually thinking of a honeymoon trip to New Zealand or Australia would give you all the options. You will have the best accommodation to choose from as compared to just picking up what's left when you start the process later in the day. The other important aspect would be to really understand what the clients want because there are so many activities that you can do in a day in Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Tahiti, Cook Islands that we have the ability to match what the clients want with activities in these regions. For instance, like coming back to Queenstown, there are about 150 activities that you can choose from in Queenstown. So if the clients are into, let's say, wildlife or hiking and walking, their itinerary around New Zealand and Australia would look quite different from if they're into Lord of the Rings and adrenaline activities. So it's important to really understand the clients at the end at a very deep level so that we can get into the nth degree of customization. So we pick the right products and the right regions in Aussie, New Zealand to match their interests.
Now, on a destination wedding, who can officiate a wedding like that if they don't have their own person with them? Can you get married by in an old Maori custom or something like that?
100%. So it's just about giving us a brief on what their interests are, and then we'll find incredible solutions. For instance, we could get like Gandalf, the wizard from Lord of the Rings, to be the official, and we can have like hobbits to carry the rings in, like stuff like that. So if they are into Lord of the Rings, then the possibilities are endless in terms of how we can customize an itinerary which reflects the interests of the clients.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, and for your case, I know it's like the wedding is secondary to all the activities you can do down there. Or I liked your first idea where you can go island hopping to New Zealand eventually, and then do all these activities at the end.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I was on a webinar recently, and one of the operators there was talking about how there is impromptu um, oh goodness, what do you call it? Proposals. There's impromptu proposals that happens because it's such a stunning location that if you're looking for a one step before getting married, if you're looking for a proposal from your partner, then choose New Zealand and Australia because you get a lot of impromptu proposals as well.
Okay, that's good to know. That's so much for the elopement part. The same thing. Don't worry about it. Mina, and the same question. I mean, what should they travel advisors consider when they're booking these honeymoons and destination weddings in the destinations you offer?
I think for us, information really is key. So the better the client profile, the better we can do in terms of making the right recommendations and getting the services together that are going to be a good fit for them. And that has to do with really anything that they're interested in their regular lives, what their hobbies are. The more that we can know about them, the better job we can do. And I'm going to kind of jump on what Kiran said, where we're saying also that a lot of clients are planning travel for proposals as well as just the honeymoons and the weddings. So it's been a really interesting trend to see also as we've kind of changed the landscape of travel post-COVID. It's been very, very different.
No, it's true. In fact, my nephew, he traveled to Ireland for his engagement, proposing on the cliffs of Moher, and then he ended up honeymooning after the wedding in Bali. So that's the kind of thing. And then he ended up honeymooning farther in Thailand and stuff like that. These are not destinations you guys offer, but you could probably do the same thing in all the Mediterranean destinations you offer, meaning all the New Zealand and islands that you offer, Kieran, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely see that clients who tend to do the proposals come back.
That's fantastic. Now, Kieran, anything else you want to tell our travel advisors out there who are coming in, and most of them are specializing or are trying or working to specialize in destination weddings and honeymoons. Anything else you want to tell them about what you offer and what they should consider?
Yeah, just a plug for some of the support that we provide to market Australia, New Zealand, and South Pacific Islands. A lot of the advisors that we work with in North America are new to these destinations. So to support the Anzcro honeymoon brochure, we've also got a marketing calendar in place. I can pass those links on as a follow-up to you, James. But on our website, when you look at the brochure, it comes with a marketing plan, which has got about 30 posts. So you can have a month-long campaign promoting Australia, New Zealand, and South Pacific as a vacation destination. So week one would all be about luxury accommodation in New Zealand. Week two, from Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, would be about wildlife in Australia or spectacular trips through New Zealand. So you have a calendar of activity with posts, images, videos, and words to go every day. That makes it really easy for the advisors to just wake up in the morning, post something about New Zealand luxury lodges on a Monday, about New Zealand vineyards on a Wednesday, and so on and so forth.
Fantastic. Well, and Mina, it's the same question. Anything else you want to tell our honeymoon and destination wedding specialists or prospective specialists about what your company offers and what they should think of when doing this?
Yeah, I would say that one of the biggest messages I like to send to advisors, and this is coming from somebody who I started my career as an advisor and I see on my own. I'm going to really build this business to work through the challenges that I experienced as an advisor. We like to kind of take the fear out of the destinations that you may not be familiar with. So our team is there to kind of handhold, to offer those sample itineraries as inspiration, and also to be able to get on the phone and consult with you and the clients or those brides and grooms. So people who just need that extra help, we're there to operate as an extension of their own business and to really, get the clients what they need while also offering that educational component to the advisors.
Fantastic. Now, last question, Kieran. Where can travel advisors go to get more information about Anzcro? You mentioned obviously they can get the brochure that you've put out, but where can they go to get more information about your company?
The website's the best spot to start, James. It's anzcro.com, anzcro.com. The website and our digital brochures and the resources hub won 2 Magellan Gold Awards last year. So it's really, really good high-end content. Take a look, and that'll answer most of the questions that they have. And then it's also got our contact details to write to our reservations team or to me if they need more information. So it's anzcro.com, anzcro.com.
Fantastic. And same question to you, Mina. Where can they go to get more information about Travelive?
All right, so I would say starting in this event in our virtual booth, you'll be able to see some information about all of our destinations and download some of our brochures. You also have a QR code there where you can register with us to be able to access our newsletters, FAM announcements, and any other information we have outgoing. You can always come to our website, which is www.travelive.com, and Travelive is just one L. And then over the course of the event, in addition to me, you'll have access to 3 of our country managers representing Greece, Italy, and Croatia that will also be taking meetings.
Fantastic. And you took the words right out of my mouth because now that they've looked at this and hopefully our travel advisors coming in here, the next step is to go down to the trade show floor and to go to the booths for both of your companies where they can find out all this great information as well and possibly even talk to some of your representatives. So that's going to be great. Now, I want to thank both of you. Thank you for filling us in. I mean, boy, some options. I just want to get married again. I don't know what's after that one. I've had it's been a while, and so maybe remarried. That's what I want to do. So,
We can do
Kiran,
vow
Good luck with
renewals
that,
too.
James.
yeah, exactly. So, Kiran, great. Thank you for waking up so early to be on the panel, Kiran, and thank you, Amina, for again, as always. I've seen both of you at trade shows all over the place, and I'm sure we'll see you again later this year.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you, James.
I'm James Shillinglaw for Virtual Roadshows, selling destination weddings and honeymoons. And please go to the trade show floor now and check out the booths for both of these companies. They got tremendous products. You heard things that I wouldn't have thought about, and also amazing places for you to book for destination weddings and honeymoons.